Well, thank you. Welcome everybody to our class today, which is going to be how you can retire your mortgage and all of your debt in as little as 6 to 10 years on your current budget without changing your lifestyle at all. Now, the concept of early mortgage and debt retirement has been widely embraced by financial experts such as Susie Orman and Dave Ramsey for a long time. So we are very proud and pleased to present this to you and to educate all of you today on how you too can become debt free without changing your budget or your lifestyle at all. Now, that may sound too good to be true, but we're going to prove you otherwise. What are Americans doing at age 65? Well, let's take a close look. 74% are dependent on their family, friends, or the government. 23% are still working, and only 3% are actually financially free. Now, the average person refinances every 3 to 5 years, which means it pushes us farther and farther in debt and farther away from the American dream, which is complete home ownership. Also, the average homeowner pays 45 to 50 years of mortgage payments and will pay about $1 million in mortgage and interest payments by just that alone. Now, what I want to show you is how you can pay off all of your debt on your current budget. So I'm talking about your mortgage or multiple mortgages. Now, there are a lot of you on this call today that may be real estate investors and you have many properties, you have many mortgages, or you may be the average family that has a mortgage, or you may not. But we have a lot of other debt too, don't we? We also have auto loans, we have credit card debts, and student loans. So what can we do? What kind of financial plan can we put in place to pay off every single bit of debt we have, whether if it's our business debt or our personal debt, all in this decade, with no change to your lifestyle except for the better? So remember, debt-free in 6 to 10 years or less. Now, first I would like to introduce you to a quote by Mr. Albert Einstein, which is interest. Those who understand it, earn it. And those who do not are, in fact, doomed to pay it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to base this class today on a $200,000 mortgage amortized over a 30-year period at a 6% interest rate. What we're looking at right now is a truth in lending disclosure statement. Now, based on the $200,000 mortgage at a 6%, our monthly mortgage payment is going to be $1,199.10. Now, did you realize that over the life of the loan, we'd be freely given to the bank over $231,677 in interest? And that is for our $200,000 home. So what is the real price that we're paying for our home? Is it $200,000 or is it $431,000 over the life of the loan? Very good question. So am I really paying 6% or am I paying over 100% interest? You see, folks, this is the great lie of the banks. When I tell you about the 6% or the 5.5% interest rate, they rely on the fact that you don't know the difference. They rely on the fact that you don't know the difference between simple interest and compound interest. And that, my friends, you're going to learn today. So here is a sample loan. So we're going to base the class on the same parameters. $200,000 mortgage, 6% interest rate, 30-year loan puts our monthly mortgage payment at $1,199. So I'm going to take a sample family. Okay, so this is going to be a traditional prepayment example based on the same mortgage. So this family is going to make their first mortgage payment. They pay their $1,199.10 to the lender they just purchased. Now, this family chose to invest an additional $5,000 to the principal of that mortgage. And I use the term invest on purpose because I want everyone on this call today to see what the return is going to be. Now, the return, first of all, is the fact that we reduced the principal from $200,000 down to $195,000. That means that we no longer have to pay compound interest on that $5,000 we paid down the loan. So that means two things. Number one, we just saved time, and we also saved a lot of money. So let's take a closer look. We reduced our mortgage right off the bat by making that additional principal investment by 360 months down to 337 months. That means that we just reduced our mortgage by almost 2 years. So now we just saved a tremendous amount of money. Let's take a look at how much interest we just saved. The original interest paid over the life of the loan would have been $231,677. Our new interest paid is $203,373. That totals out to a whopping $28,000 and change in gross savings. But now if we deduct our investment, that means that our total return is $23,304, all for investing that $5,000 in the principal of the mortgage. So now everyone should be aware that yes, you could pay off a mortgage sooner. The challenge is, especially in today's economy, is that most of us do not have $5,000 to apply to the principal of the mortgage on a regular basis. This is what makes our system, our mathematical program, so powerful, is that we're able to achieve the same results on our current budget without having to come out of pocket. Now I'm going to go over with you a amortization schedule. So this is going to show how the lender applies that mortgage payment month after month, year after year, based on that exact $200,000 mortgage at a 6% 30-year term. So this sample family made their very first mortgage payment. Now, are you aware that over 90% of that first mortgage payment goes straight to interest? As you'll see here at month 1, they applied $1,000 to interest and only $199 and change to principal. Now look at month 2. The only additional impact that your hard-earned money has made is $1. That means $1 less to interest, $1 more to principal. Month 3, $1 less to interest, about $1 more to principal. And that continues over and over again. So in the very first year, we would have paid out $14,389, in which the lender only applied $2,400 and change toward the principal of the loan. At the 5-year mark, we would have paid out $71,946, in which the lender has only applied $13,000 and change toward the principal. During the first 10 years, we would have paid out $143,891 worth of mortgage payments. But now why is it only $32,000 and change is applied to the principal? You see, folks, the thing is that we're dealing with a compound interest mortgage, which I'm going to talk a lot about here in just a moment. Now, most people do not realize it takes 21 years before your mortgage is halfway paid off. So what you'll see here at the year 21 mark is that we finally have paid it down by $100,000. Our home is finally 50% paid off, but it's taken us not 15 years, but 21 years to get to that point. Now, if you take a look over the life of the loan, if we continue to manage our money the way that the banks depend on us to, we would have paid $431,677 for a $200,000 home. So that means that we have freely given $231,677 to the banks in interest without thinking twice. And why is that? Because we were never taught to do anything different. It was the only way that we were taught to manage our money. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to share with you some of the banking secrets that the banks don't want you to know. Now here's some interest facts for you. Over 100% of your mortgage is interest, but remember, we can change that. But if you choose to make no changes whatsoever and you continue to manage your money the way the banks have taught us to, you'll be paying over 100% in interest. Also, 34% of your entire income that you've earned lifetime is spent in interest alone. Haven't you noticed month after month it seems like we just don't have much money left over? It just seems like we can never get ahead in life. And that's because the way that our banking systems and the banking industry here in the United States as well as Canada is designed is to keep us down. It's to allow the banks to get rich and they keep us right where they want us to be. Now, let's dissect a mortgage a little closer. First of all is that a mortgage is a closed-end loan. Okay, and a mortgage is always what I consider financial cancer because it is compound interest. It is the worst type of loan. Now, the payment is applied only one time per month. We can pay money in, but we cannot withdraw it out. It is only a one-way street. The interest is calculated on the month-end balance and is driven by that amortization schedule. See, folks, what we need to do is we need to get out from underneath these mortgages. Like I said, it is complete financial cancer. The most successful real estate investors and business owners learn how to leverage credit lines. It may not be today, but the faster that we could eliminate or accelerate our debt, the faster we could be in a key position in our life to start leveraging. And I'm going to use that term over and over and over again today. Leverage. I want everyone to say that with me. Leverage. Because the more that you learn how to leverage, the more financially secure and stable you're going to become in the future. Now, the way that you were taught to manage your money, first of all, is that we deposit our income into our checking account, and that's where the money sits and stays until it's time to do what? We have to pay our bills, right? So we cut a check and we make our mortgage payment. We also have a lot of other debts and bills and expenses we have to pay. So we pay our auto loans or credit card debts. In fact, most people that I encounter day to day doing strategy sessions can only afford to make the minimum payments on the credit cards, which means that the debt never goes away. It just continues to linger there. We pay our student loans, we pay our health care, we pay our utilities, and then we get paid again. We deposit that income back into the checking account where that money continues to remain until it's time to pay bills and repeat this process over again. The question I have for you is a very important one. Where in the process of traditional money management is your money working for you? See, following this method, your money is only working for the bank. Are you aware that when your money sits in your checking and savings account, that the bank is investing your money? They're receiving a huge return, but we're receiving nothing but a lifetime worth of interest. So is that fair? Absolutely not. So we need to utilize proven financial strategies, mathematical strategies, to be able to guide us in becoming debt-free, to where our hard-earned income is having an impact for us and not the lender. And that is all done through financial engineering. I want everyone to say that. Financial engineering. Now there is a way to, here's this word again, leverage. There is a way to leverage credit lines. Some of you may have a debt that can be leveraged and you just don't know it. Some of you may have all the tools that you need to become debt-free, no matter how bad it seems right now, no matter how much that you're struggling month after month. Believe it or not, you may have the tools that it takes, the necessary tools to become debt-free, and you don't realize it because, once again, we were not taught. So I'm going to teach you something very important. And as I'm teaching you this, I want everyone to realize something. First of all is that you do not need a line of credit to qualify for our program. And number two is you do not need to have credit for this to work for you. But I'm going to share with you a very powerful technique. There's a way to utilize a line of credit to your benefit. Now, a line of credit is the opposite of a mortgage. It is simple interest and not compound interest. So it is an open-end loan. The lender will apply the money to loan balance whenever they receive it. The lender will adjust the principal balance daily. We can pay money in and we can withdraw money out as a two-way street. It works just like a checking account. Now, a lot of this may not make sense to you yet, but it's going to, because I'm going to give you some examples, some excellent visuals here. The interest is also calculated on the average daily balance and not the month-end balance. So like I said, this is the opposite of a mortgage. In fact, this is how I do my investing, is I leverage the bank's money. I leverage credit lines. So I use the bank's money to cancel the bank's profit. I use the bank's money to create my family wealth. You see, so let me give you an example here. Here is a sample family that has a line of credit. Let's just say that they have a $100,000 line of credit and they owe $80,000 to that line of credit. So it's pretty close to being met out. And remember, this is a simple interest credit line. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to change the way that we manage our money. So we're still going to work, we're going to deposit our income into our checking account, but then what we're going to do is we're going to transfer funds over into the line of credit. Let me explain why and how this is beneficial. Because you know, traditionally, we have a payment that we have to make to this line of credit each month because we owe money to it. But since we're going to change the way that we manage our money, we're going to deposit our incomes into the line of credit, and it has to readjust daily, so it's going to readjust that balance owed. So let's take a look here. Now that it readjusted that, now that debt is down to 70%. But our entire amount of income is still liquid. The money is still there to turn around and make your mortgage payment, to pay your bills, credit cards, to pay your utilities, and go grocery shopping. The money is still liquid, it's just in your new account. An account that a lot of you may already have. But let me repeat myself here. You do not have to have a line of credit for our program to work with you. I'm just sharing with you something that you could change today. So I want to make sure that all of you are walking away from this webinar today with some important information that could change your life. So there's ways that we can leverage off this credit line. So by depositing our income into the line of credit, paying our bills and expenses out of it, we no longer have to make a payment to this line of credit because the lender looks at our entire cash flow as a payment. So what does that mean for us? That means that our money is working hard for us 24/7. It is canceling interest and it's absorbing that debt like a sponge. But it's still accessible. And it also freed up more positive discretionary cash flow each month, since we're no longer having to make a payment to this debt. So now with that extra discretionary cash flow, how can we utilize that to our benefit? How can we utilize that to power down some of our other debt? Now here's where the Financial Relief Acceleration System comes into play, is that it will mathematically tell us when to use the bank's money to cancel the bank's interest and profit. So for instance, the software will tell us today that we're going to transfer $3,675.77, and whose money are we going to use? You're right, we're going to use the bank's money. So we're going to pull that money out of the home equity line and apply it toward the principal only of the mortgage. And so by pulling that money out and investing it in the principal of the mortgage, that just saved ourselves $17,249.48 in compound interest. And so traditionally our out-of-pocket, because we're still going to pay simple interest on the money that we borrowed out of the credit line, traditionally would have been $68.13. Well, first of all, before I move forward, if you were to give me $68 and I in turn gave you $17,000, how many times would you be willing to make that transaction with me today? Well, I'm assuming over and over and over. But here's where it gets even better. Because we're going to manage all of our income into and out of the credit line, we're no longer even having to pay the $68.13 for the simple interest for borrowing that money. You see, this is the most brilliant way that you could change the way that you manage your money to where your funds have a positive impact 24/7 even while you're sleeping. And remember, all those funds are still accessible to continue to pay your bills and expenses. They're just in a different account. Now, what I'm going over with you right now is a screenshot of a current client that had been following our program just for a few months. What you're going to see here is that they have over $1.5 million in debt. And I chose this one here. This is their worst case scenario. So this family here is paying off $1.5 million in 8.54 years, saving a minimum of $630,000 in compound interest. So we're talking about a mass amount of debt. So what you'll see here on the right hand side of my computer screen, they have an American Express that they owe over $8,100 to, a student loan with a balance of over $4,100, a Citi AA card of over $22,000. They also have an auto loan that they owe over $24,000 to, another auto loan, a Toyota, which they owe $21,000 on. You see, so there is a tremendous amount of debt, and you will see that this mathematical system is even showing us precisely when every single debt can be paid off in full and how much interest we are saving on each debt particular. So that means the entire plan is saving this family $630,000, paying off every single piece of debt, every student loan, every auto loan, every credit card, and their mortgage. And this is without any financial coaching, which comes with our program. This is without any other strategies. Just by following our mathematical system, they're paying it off less than 9 years. Now, would you consider that an excellent investment of time? You see, to follow our financial GPS system, we're talking about a time management of 15 to 20 minutes a month to save over $633,000, not to mention well over 20 years off their debt. So this family got a debt 19 years faster. So all of this red ink stands for time and stands for money saved. All of that red ink, that is phenomenal. Now, first of all, here's what our program is not. Our program is not a refinance or a biweekly. It is so much more powerful. We do not handle your money. We never, ever need your account numbers or your social security number. You will be in 100% complete control of your finances for once. And once again, there is no home equity line of credit required to follow our system. Now, here's what your debt management system will do for you. First of all, how many of you on this call today have ever lost sleep at night stressing and worrying about finances? Worried about how are we going to pay our property tax or income tax? Or how are we going to be able to afford to go on vacation this summer, take our children out? You see, financial stress and hardship, that amount of burden has a negative impact on every aspect of our lives. It affects our relationships, our friendships, our work environment. It affects every single aspect, and even more importantly, our health. And so by having a financial plan in place to where you're no longer stressed, your whole life changes. It's a whole paradigm shift to the way that we look, the way that we talk, the way that we feel about ourselves, the way that we present ourselves. So when you follow your debt management system, any time that a bill or an expense is due throughout the entire year, the money's automatically pre-planned, made available, and you'll receive a text message right to your cell phone and or email reminders reminding you that this bill's due tomorrow. Guess what? Here's the money. All you have to do is pay it. So that way you have zero change to lifestyle. That will give you real, and I mean true, financial security. You will get payoff dates on all of your debts. You know exactly where you're headed financially, guiding you step by step, 24/7 to financial freedom on a live financial platform. Now, I mentioned earlier a financial GPS. That's exactly what this system is. For those of you that have a GPS in your car, you know that when you get in your car, you enter in where your destination is, where it is you would like to go. And it's going to mathematically calculate a roadmap guiding you to that destination, saving you what? Well, it's saving you the most gas, it's saving the most mileage, etc. And then if we make a wrong turn, life happens, right? If we make the wrong turn, it's going to mathematically generate a new roadmap guiding you to your final destination. Okay, so that way you're still saving the most time and the most money. This system does the same thing for you financially, because we all know that life happens, things come up. For those of you that are real estate investors, you know there may be some repairs or new paint, new carpet. For those of you that are just families that want to get out of debt, sometimes there may be a loss of employment. There may be a health issue. This system will automatically recreate or generate a new plan guiding you to your final destination, turn by turn, 24/7. Always saving us time and money. So that way you always know where you're going to end up. You know for a fact where you're going to be in 5 or 10 years from now. What a positive change to our lifestyle. What a positive change. Now, here's what else your debt management system will do for you. It includes one-on-one wealth coaching, where I will work with you, guiding you step by step, not only in eliminating your debt the fastest way possible, and also in credit line leverage, but also different types or different strategies to increase your net worth, to increase the cash flow that's coming in each month. See, the main thing is working harder, or excuse me, didn't I get that one wrong? Working smarter, not harder, working smarter. We're so used to thinking that if we want to create more cash flow, we have to go out and get a second job. Everyone is stuck in this train of thought. There's many ways to bring in other sources of income streams without working harder. Like I said, working smarter, basing it on what? Mathematics. Following our program, it will not affect your credit score except for the better. We'll work with you getting your credit score to the very highest it could possibly achieve. Okay, so we will work with you in your credit score. We'll work with you on building wealth. And that way you can start enjoying the lifestyle that you designed and the lifestyle that you deserve. Okay, because remember, if we can pay off our home in, let's just say, 7 years, And if, for those of you that have small children, just think of the doors that open when it comes to an education for your children once they reach the age of 18. So now that we have hundreds of thousands of dollars at our disposal in equity, there's college education. There is the funds that we need and the tools that we need for building wealth. Okay, many doors open up once we start to achieve equity in our home and we start to eliminate our bad debt and freeing up cash flow. Because remember, working smarter, not harder. Now also, our average client saves over $200,000 in interest. Now I also wanted to share with you some testimonials I have from some of our students. And this is coming from Dave. Dave says, incredible! In the program only a couple of weeks, and I've already saved $5,207.03. On pace to save $618,428.63 while knocking 19 years off my mortgage. Everyone needs this program now. And that's from Dave Rosansky in California. Also, we have Lori Barone from Florida. It has completely changed how and when we spend our money without having to make any financial sacrifices. This program works so well, I've even gotten clients and other family members using it who are all having outstanding results as well, meaning she's getting her clients involved in the program. The reason why is that Lori Barone is a Series 6 and 63 tax preparer. And last but not least, we have Sandy Hardwick from Texas. Done with the program in under 4 years, and we are saving $99,653.58 in total. Do I need to say anything else? Actually, I do. The professionalism and integrity your company has exhibited has been second to none. So thank you, Sandy. So now, folks, here's a few things that you're going to need. Okay? First of all, you need to book a financial strategy session. You're going to meet with myself or one of our other staff members, one of our other consultants, which is traditionally a $300 value. So we'll be able to meet with you and create that financial plan for you, free of charge, and where you will thoroughly understand all the nuts and bolts of the program. Exactly what it is. I know you have a lot of questions, and I expect you to. But what a better way to get those questions answered than on an individual basis. So I want you guys to book a personal financial strategy session. Also, is you'll need to fill and print out a financial strategy form, which is, remember, we don't need any account numbers, social security numbers. This is going to be a form that you're going to fill out, a worksheet, with all of your financials on it, so that way I know exactly what we're working with, between assets, your debts, your expenses, etc. You'll also need high-speed internet for our appointment, because our appointment, our one-on-one together, is going to be on the phone and over the internet. So it's going to be on a private, personal, one-on-one webinar setting. Please allow at least 1 hour for the call, and also ask you to give us a 20-minute window. So if you book a 10 o'clock a.m. Pacific time appointment with us, I ask you to please give us a 20-minute window in case if we're on a previous call. And it's very important to have your significant other present on the call. So I ask for you to please do everything you can possible to have your significant other on the call with you. Okay. Also, as you do need to have income. So to qualify for our program, you will have to have debt and you will have to have income. Any kind of income. Wages, commissions, alimony, social security, unemployment, inheritance, investments, etc. So your next step is to book a free financial strategy session. Okay? Bruce is going to tell you how in just a second, and everyone please grab your pen and paper, because you're going to need to write down a special promotion code. You have to enter a specific code into our calendar system to get your appointment. Okay, so Bruce will give that to you in just 1 second. But before he does that, I want to show you how to book the appointment. Bruce is going to tell you where to go, but once you're in the booking system, this is what you're going to see. At the very bottom, you're going to see that's something that states FRA. That's Frank, Rachel, Adam. That stands for Financial Relief Accelerator. Complimentary one-on-one session. It'll say click here to schedule your free one-on-one strategy session with Financial Relief Accelerator. You must have your special code to schedule this appointment. Once you click on that, it will take you to this screen. And you have two options. You could choose Shane Jackman or you could choose Shane and staff. Okay, so that way if you cannot find a specific day and time that you're looking for under Shane Jackman, then you can also say Shane and staff, click on that. It'll take you into the calendar and it may open up some other time spots that are available. And all time spots are in fact Pacific time zone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pass this to Bruce. Bruce, if you can go ahead and give everyone their special promotion code, tell them how to book that appointment as far as where to go, and then folks, we'll see you on my calendar. So thanks for inviting me to this call, Bruce, and passing it over to you.